So you want to have a swimming pool built. How do you find a good pool builder? Well, I'm going to give you 4 tips for how to find a good swimming pool builder. So the first one is it's basic stuff here. So I set an appointment with you. I'm a homeowner. I set an appointment with you, the pool builder, for whatever time. We'll pick 2 p.m. If you show up on time, you are there, standing in my driveway, ready to go at 2 p.m. Check. The vehicle you're driving looks suitable for the task at hand. For example, you're the pool builder. You're a small company. You're going to build this pool for me. You're driving your work vehicle. I don't want your work vehicle to be a Toyota Tercel. So sorry, Toyota Tercel owners. Uh, I just I want to see a pickup truck or a van. I want to see it in a good state of repair. I want to see company deckling on. I want to see you being proud of the company that you're representing. And because swimming pools are very expensive things to install, by the end of your first year in business, you should have plenty of money as a contractor or owner of a swimming pool company to drive a nice vehicle and have one that represents you well as a company owner, doesn't leak oil in the driveway, isn't rusted and looking like it's ready for the junk heap. So that's what I'm looking for. I want to see you on time and I want to see you driving a vehicle which is in good condition, which is deckled with your company information, and it looks like it's something that is reasonably new versus something that's on its way out the door. Here's a slam dunk for a good swimming pool builder that you should definitely consider hiring. Whatever you're going to have built, I'm going to pick a concrete pool, a really big one with a waterfall. So I'm going to get estimates from local builders to build me this large concrete pool with a big waterfall. And when it comes time to get references from you, I want to get references for other large concrete pools with waterfalls in my immediate area that I can go and look at. And if you can satisfy that requirement, then I am definitely happy. And the further that I would have to travel from my home to go and look at this pool, or the less like the project I'm describing this pool is. Like if I'm describing a big fancy pool and you show me a small plain Jane pool that's 3 towns away, that's not a good sign for me. A good pool builder will have a ton of local references available to them because ideally they're well established in the local area that you live. And I mean, I don't want to hire somebody building pools for their first year in an area when there's other options of more established companies available to me. That's who I'm going to choose every time. I definitely want somebody who's well established in the local area, knows the local building codes, local the nuances. Every town and area has nuances. Some areas have clay or expansive soils, some areas have problems with groundwater, and you learn that stuff after a period of time working in an area. So that's why I want to hire somebody who's experienced working in the local area, doing the exact kinds of projects that I'm looking to hire you to do. So what else is a sign of a good pool builder? This one, this one for me is like put a gold star next to this one. I find that pool companies are notoriously bad at keeping the communication lines with customers open. And there's a bunch of different stuff that all affects why that is. And to summarize it, it's basically that pool companies get really busy in during peak periods of time. And when I say really busy, I mean like unsustainable. It's literally impossible to call every person back. For every phone call I make, I get 11 new voicemails. That's not like I could just spend all day every day returning phone calls and there's still a bunch of angry people who didn't get a call back. And you're like, hire more people. It's like, well, it's yes, that's the idea, but remember, most of the year it's not that busy, so I'll have to let those people go, which means I got to bring seasonal help in, train them specific. And the problem is that if you're seasonal within the industry, you don't really care or be knowledgeable about what you're doing. So that's why it's this balance between having enough people versus being able to answer the phones, keep the customers happy, but also have a staff that you can maintain long term, or have some sort of training program that you can train the seasonal staff such that they can provide an adequate level of support to things like the people that call in. Like, yeah, it'd be nice to have somebody answer the phone, but it'd be even better if they knew what the heck they're talking about. I'm sure you'd agree. So a good pool builder communicates well, and it's actually kind of a tall order. I find that more often than not, pool owners complain of a lack of communication from the person building their pool. And to me, this blows my mind. You're giving them 50, $100,000, $200,000, like some really nice backyards and fancy areas, 400,000, $750,000. How are you not just asking them questions? Ask, like, I would feel entitled to ask every question in the world, because that's a lot of money, and that's enough money to me that I feel like the lines of communication should be like it should be wide open. You should be communicating readily. There shouldn't be any surprises. There should be no hard feelings or feelings like, oh, sorry to bother you. I know you're busy building this pool. I'm really sorry. I noticed that's the wrong tile color. I asked you for blue. That's red tile. Sorry. I mean, that's ridiculous. You're paying them hundreds of thousands of dollars. Hey, stop doing that because that's the wrong stuff. Like, I didn't order that. It's got to come off. We got to have a conversation. Don't feel bad about it. Feel empowered that this is your money. This is your property. This is your yard. Yes, you're paying them to be there, but really, like, should be a good amount of respect here. I want a good amount of respect when you're standing on my property, making an alteration to my home, and I'm paying you handsomely for it. Let's keep those lines of communication open. Okay, so what's the fourth thing, which is a sign of a good pool builder? Well, it's that they're booked solid. I mean, that's probably the number one thing that happens is when somebody says that they had a bad experience having a pool built, probably at some point they ended up talking to the right person. And that person talked to them, was like, yeah, you want a pool? Yeah, no, big pool, waterfall. Yeah, that's what we do. I can help you. Oh, the area you live? Yeah, we specialize in that area. We've been there forever. We're currently booking projects for 3 summers out, 2 summers out. And you're like, I want to be swimming in 90 days. And they're like, not going to be able to help you with that because they're good. They're established. They're well established in their area, and they have a list of people who are constantly referring them customers. Plus, they probably do local advertising. They're probably swamped. I know, personally speaking, when I have moved to an area and I set up shop and I built a company, and like 3 years, 5 years in, I'm drowning in work. There's so much work to be had. And I think that it's pretty much across the board. If you're good at what you do and you communicate well and you provide a good product or a good service, you'll get busy. And that's what happens with these people is they're busy. And in a lot of places, your build season is restricted, so you can't just build year round. There's a reduced building season that you can really do your thing. And so, yeah, the good people tend to book up. And so when I talk to somebody and they say they're booked 2 to 3 years out, I don't hear, oh, well, they're no good because I want to go swimming. I hear, this is the best builder around. How do we choose them? Can we delay our project? Like, think about it. Like, genuinely, is there any way that we could delay it to make sure that we get the right person? Because that feels like something that might be worth delaying for. Or maybe you could talk to them and be like, look, is there any way, like, if we're ready to go at the drop of a hat, what if you had a cancellation? Do you have a cancellation list and we could just be on standby ready to knock our fence over and have your trucks pull in? They might say yes. They might say yes, having, one in the pocket, one on standby, a pliable customer who's willing to just, roll with it however it turns out, because you might have weather delays, or there might be another project which has a back ordered item or a soured relationship with the customer, which is delaying the project. They don't know what to do. Boom. Now they're at your house and they're building your pool because you had this set up already. So there are some ways that you can try to get in there. But in general, to me, when I hear that somebody's booked up a long time in advance for building pools, to me, that's not a bad thing. That's a great sign. If you found this information helpful, please be sure to like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And you can check out my website, swimmingpoolsteve.com.